In a beautiful town, a king named Suryakant lived with his wife and daughter. The king was a very greedy man and had a lot of gold with him. He was very much in love with his gold. He loved his gold so much that he had named his daughter Sonpari too. The only two things most important to the king in his life was his gold and his daughter Sonpari. He used to keep all his gold in a tank and count it every day. One day the queen said,
If you keep counting the gold every day like this, then soon your gold would vanish.
The king got upset on this and said, You will not understand the importance of this gold, dear. There is nothing more beautiful and precious than this gold in the world. The more gold we have, the more powerful our kingdom will be. I love my gold and you cannot question my desire for the gold. The king used to count his gold every day and his greed started growing day by day. He was getting out of control. On one hand, the king was so infatuated with his gold, and on the other hand, the princess had no interest in the gold at all. Throughout the day, she used to play in the garden of the palace. She was very much in love with nature. One day, Sonpari said to the king,
It has been so long since you took me to a walk, Dad.
I will take you today evening only, my princess. Your demand is top on my list. The king goes on a walk with his daughter in a chariot. Sonpari, while riding the chariot, sees a very beautiful garden at some distance. She tells the king,
Wow! What a beautiful sight! Stop the chariot, father. I want to spend some time here.
The king stops the chariot. Sonpari starts roaming along with her father in the park. She looks at some beautiful flowers there and she feels so happy and says,
Look, Dad, what a beautiful flower it is.
It is pretty, but if only it was made of gold, it would have been the prettiest.
What is this, Dad? Do you not see anything except for gold? The world is full of wonders and just scared about the gold.
Sonpari gets upset and she returns home. The king's greed for gold was increasing so much that he wanted to become the richest man in the world. Soon his desire turned into madness. One day the king decided to pray to God to become the richest man in the world. He stopped eating and drinking and started worshipping God. Many days passed. The king did not allow his practice to be disturbed. Then one day a monk came to the king. He said, Monk, my king, what is the reason for you to practice such difficult rituals? My lord, I want to be the richest person in the world. Grant me such strength that whatever I touch, it turns to gold. I can help you with that. The monk takes a bracelet out of his bag and gives it to the king. He says, Wearing this bracelet in your right hand, whatever object you touch, it will turn to gold. But always remember one thing. You cannot buy everything with gold. The monk then left the palace and the king was very happy with the bracelet. He started touching every little thing in the palace. Chairs, tables, pots, beds, everything was turning into gold. The king entered the garden and touched the trees, plants and flowers and made them of gold. The king got tired of running so much that he started feeling hungry. He went to the palace to have dinner and sat down on his golden chair table. Various types of dishes, sweets and fruits were placed on the table. The king's mouth was watering. As soon as the king took a bite, he lost one of his teeth. He was shocked to see this. He saw that the dishes had turned into gold because of his touch. As soon as he touched the fruit also turned to gold. By his touch, the monasteries, the salt, even water turned into gold. The king got upset and, Oh my God, what do I eat now? I am now paying for my greed. I have so much gold, but I am hungry. The king keeps crying and fall on his knees. Sonpari came running upon her father's screams. She found her father so disturbed. She couldn't see him in pain and she tried to hug him in order to appease him. Before the king could say anything, Princess Sonpuri grabbed the king's hand, and as soon as she touched him, she turned into a gold statue. The king saw this and he started crying loudly. King, what happened to my daughter? Because of my blind greed, my daughter has become a statue of gold. Oh God, help me please. The king runs to the forest to find the monk. He tries hard and after a while he finds the monk. He then says, "Oh Lord, I don't want this bracelet. I've been so greedy. But now I have realized my mistake. Because of me, my beloved daughter has become a statue of gold. Please help me." Monk, I warned you that not all happiness can be obtained from gold, O king. This turmoil has happened in your life only because of the excessive greed for the gold. The monk then took his bracelet back and gave him a pot filled with water. He said, "Sprinkle this water on your daughter and she will become a human again." The king ran back to his palace and quickly sprinkled the water on his daughter's gold statue. She immediately became a human again and everything went back to normal. After seeing his daughter taking her human form back from the gold statue, the king felt relieved. Sonpuri said,
I knew something terrible would happen to us because of your greed for gold, father.
"I'm ashamed of myself, my princess. I'm really happy that I got you back. Now, I want nothing from life." Princess Sonpuri started playing in the garden again, and now even the king started enjoying the nature outside. The king then put a lock on his safe, and he even stopped counting the gold every day.